Okay, welcome back. We're going to go over how to quickly and easily change over your worn out or non-functional starter as well as the starter cable. I'm actually using a PA Performance starter. It's an older one, and I've just purchased from Late Model Restoration the replacement starter cable. And since I do not have the front accessories on my car, I'll be able to show you clearly and easily where the connection points are for the cable. If anybody's following along with my engine build, this is kind of my prep as I'm getting the engine into the car. So I do have the motor and trans obviously hanging out of the car, so it just makes it easier to show how to do this. It also makes it easier to install. So one of the advantages of the smaller starters is your header clearance. So it is easier generally to go ahead and put this in before you get the headers in. I've got long tubes. You got 2 3/8/16 bolts. These are about 1.5 inches long. And this is the point where if you forgot to put in, for some reason you forgot to put in your spacer plate, this is where you would be hosed, because at this point you wouldn't have this to locate. This starter is located that we're going to be putting in. So at this point it's pretty simple. You see these teeth, they engage with the flex plate or in flywheel in the case of if you're doing a 5-speed. We'll just go ahead and get these in. So now that I've shown you how to install the starter, I'm going to show you how to install the actual starter cable. The thing to note here is that there's a trigger wire on top of the starter, and that trigger wire goes back to your starter relay. So that's what this second wire is for. If you don't have a 3G circuit, you're going to either have to add this wire. So some of the old ones, now you can actually buy this. I think it's the 92 or 93. I'll link it. I'll link it below. This came off Late Model Restoration. Anyways, so this is the trigger wire, and this is the other end of the trigger wire. So the only thing that's different is, like, if you buy like an SVE high torque starter, there's actually a little tab on the back of the starter that all you need to do is just plug this guy in. Now on mine's an older PA Performance starter. So because of that, I'm going to need to lop this guy off, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to strip the end of this wire on, and I'm just going to put on a terminal lug so I have a place to mount it on the back of the starter. This looks like a number 12 wire. That corresponds to like a yellow butt connector. So we're going to put this guy on. Now I'm using a pair that's actually color coded, so it's either blue or yellow. So it's quite clear which one to crimp on. We got a good solid connection. So critical first step you want to make sure you do, you want to remove the negative battery cable. You are dealing with full power of the battery, so make sure you don't skip this, because if you accidentally touch something, you're basically going directly battery to ground. So the next thing you're going to need to do, you're going to need to gain access to your starter. In my case, I have the motor lifted up and I don't have my headers installed. So you're going to need a extension. I'm going to show you an image here of going through the stock K-member. You're going to need to snake your way through the stock K-member, and then having a swivel is pretty much a requirement, so you're probably going to want to have that. So with no accessories installed, it's pretty easy to see what you have here. You have a cable that runs from the starter, comes along the passenger side, and there's 2 brackets to this cable. The first bracket is held on by a 7/16 14 bolt. You want it about no longer than maybe 3/4, maybe an inch longer. Any longer than that, it'll be too far into the block. And then on the driver's side of the engine, you have the second bracket, and in typical Ford fashion, this is a 3/8/16 bolt. The difference here, and this is critical, is that you actually make sure that you replace, in my case, I'm basically starting from new. In your case, you're going to have to remove the old cable, remove the battery cable, and make sure that you replace it in the same location. Okay, so if you're using a mini starter and you're converting from stock, your stock starter cable, the main lug, is going to be attached to this side of the starter relay. What you're going to do is you're going to take this nut, remove this nut, and take the starter cable and place it onto this lug. In my case, I'm using the 3G starter. So from the cable, from the starter cable, coming from the other side, I already have this installed. I have the small cable that's going to the signal wire. It's the only thing that will be on this lug. and then I have the main starter cable, the thicker cable from the starter cable, attached to the same size as the battery cable. So these should be connected in the same location. One piece of advice here is you are at full battery. You've got the positive terminal here. So I strongly recommend you make this your last connection. Get everything connected down on the starter first, and then come up here and deal with this. Because if you are actually connecting, if you connect this and then touch something down underneath with the other side of cable, you're basically going battery to ground. So down on the starter, you have two connectors. Now in my case, I am using an older PA Performance starter, so it didn't come with the little tab for the little push fitting that comes with this cable. So I have to remove, then snip off the end of that connector, and then replace it with a terminal lug, and it's on this. It's going to be on this small lug. So if you have that little tab, you can press that little piece onto that tab. The other end, the thick end of the starter cable, will go to the top connection. This is a 9/16 bolt, and that's where your main connection is going to be. And this is the one you really got to watch out for, because this is, as you remember, this is connected the other side to battery voltage. And then you have a connector here. You'll see a cable, and this is going to your starter. So you see that cable there. So you shouldn't need to connect anything here. So you got your trigger wire, and then you have your power wire. So I didn't have enough length from here, from where this was clipped on, because this was actually, it was squeezing on the cable to get it over here. So I actually had to take a pair of pliers and free that guy up. I just took and loosened that clamp, and I had to give myself more slack in that cable so that I could get it over there. So I'm going to point out for you that in a stock configuration, I'm going to a different ECU. You are likely to have other wires connected to this. Typically they might be zip tied to it that you might have to cut off. Those are your O2 sensors. So just don't be shocked if you see another set of cables and you're not aware. Those are your O2 sensors. Okay guys, you should have your starter and starter cable now properly installed. I hope this helps you out. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.